Morning everyone, Brian McManus Real Estate Update Week 6. Boy, we've got only a few days left for cut-off for our February auction. Then we're moving into our March, which is 27th of March. And that's already looking pretty positive. We've got a couple of properties that are just taking some time to get some basically a tidy up, I suppose, and it's all part and parcel of what goes on, I suppose. So yeah, what's happening in the market? So residentially wise, boy, it's been a massive growth spurt since November, and I suppose what we're experiencing there is supply and demand. Not a lot of people leaving the market. There's in Sydney itself and the eastern suburbs, we're finding there are people leaving the area, long-termers, excuse me, that are heading to the regions, which is fantastic, which means it frees up for some of the younger ones to come back in. Really entry level around Paddo is about 2.5 and up from there. So, and depending on whether you want parking and all those sorts of things. Shell Cove is an area that we've been making inroads into, and pretty happy with our growth, I'd have to say. And with that comes a new market. You can't really say anything more than that. It's it's an exciting market. I think once the Crown opens up, the Crown Hotel, I thought it would have been open by now. I really thought it was they were aiming at Christmas, but not to be. I imagine the corporate would have loved it to have been open, but just a massive influx there, and we're seeing days on market come back, which is good, because they were averaging over 100 days at one point, but we're putting them through the auction process and moving it from 100 days plus on days on market to now 21, which is pretty cool. Finance, there's a lot more finance available for multiple of things, so you'd have to say everything's moving in the right direction. Certainly can't complain about what we're seeing come through. You know, it's really, really good. So all in all, there's lots of money around. I just don't see any downside to property at the moment. There's talk about, interest rates went up yesterday with the Reserve Bank, but it's really not affecting us in any way, shape or form. Motels, hotels, caravan parks, a bit spotty, one would say. It's the that does have an isolated market, and we've found that July last year a lot of the main players pulled out of financing them. So, and their criteria is they may still do it, but it has to be in a population of 21,000 or above. So when you work that out, it breaks down to about 20, 21 towns or cities that will actually can be financed. So all the others can't be. So you just got to work out, okay, if you're buying in a remote, 5,000-10,000 township, you've got to have your finances in place, and there's no other way of putting it there. So yeah, limited buyers for those properties, but they're still selling. They just have to be priced accordingly and have all the books in order. If you've got your books in order, we can still sell them. And books in order means banking cash. We've got to stop this ridiculous situation where people are taking the cash out, thinking that they're saving money on tax, when in actual fact all you're doing is dropping your sale price. And it's not costing you thousands, it's costing you hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in your sale price. So you do the maths, and saving yourself 30% tax is just ridiculous. So long and short, Resi, done. Great guns. Eastern suburbs, Sydney, on fire. But where we go to from there, we've got a number of I just don't see it stopping, and that's great. Inroom's auction at Double Bay, it's just increases your percentage of profit, and I can't explain it any other way than that. So give us a call, Brian, 040-297-0217, Brian at brianmcmanusrealestate.com, and we'll get you listed for February or March auction. And have a happy week 6.